Okay, hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining me on this webinar today. My name is Richard from the Seneca team, and I'm going to run you through everything you need to know about Seneca tutoring. Now, a couple of logistics of how the session will work and how you can ask questions and how we're going to interact together. So I'm sure you have done a lot of Zoom calls over the last few months, and this one's going to be no different. The only thing you'll find is you won't be able to unmute yourself in the chat. So if what you need to do is if you want to ask a question, then you just need to type into the chat feature on Zoom. So you can access that just by hovering over my face, or if you're on your phone, just tapping my face, and you'll be able to click the chat, and then you'll be able to type any questions you've got in there. So I encourage you to do that and get those questions coming in as and when they come up. So we're going to run through a few different things. We're going to give a bit of a background of Seneca and what it is and how it's come to be, and some of the background on tutoring and how that all works and how your child can access tutoring at a very affordable price, but also show you what the parent platform looks like on Seneca, what the student platform looks like, and what our tutoring platform looks like, so you can have an idea of whether it's something that's right for you and your child. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share my screen with you so you can see exactly what I see. Give me 1 second. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen now. If you can't, please do someone just let me know in the chat, because otherwise, obviously, I'm not sure of what people can and can't see. So to give a background on what Seneca actually is, so Seneca is a distance homework and learning platform. And some of the best things about Seneca tutoring, which is a part of our Seneca program, is number one, it's based on proven learning strategies. So we worked with a team of education neuroscientists to basically understand what effective learning looks like in an online sense. And so that you can see, so that basically the way we present information and the data we use for students is basically all packaged into one form. And these cognitive neuroscientists who understand how learning works, and the internal team we have that has worked with this, basically has developed a platform that is really effective in terms of delivering content. Secondly, everything that your child does on Seneca, you can track as a parent. So that is either through our parent accounts that you can sign up to, or you can also, if you sign up for our guarantee or tutoring packages, you'll get access to the parent activity summary, which is basically a weekly email, which I'll talk to you about that in a bit more a bit later. Thirdly, everything is adaptive. So in terms of what you can do on Seneca, so when a child or student or pupil, whatever it is, whatever age you are, you probably want to call them something slightly different. When they complete work on Seneca, the system automatically adapts to them. So the content that they see is particularly tailored to their needs, and that will help them to basically progress faster. Now, fourthly, with Seneca tutoring and a Seneca guarantee package, you get unlimited tutoring for the price you pay. So there's none of this, you pay just for 1 hour and then that's it until the next week. You pay your money for a month and you get unlimited amount of tutoring through our platform, which I'll show you in a second. And all the schoolwork support we provide through there is instant. So a child can ask a question, they can get a response to that within 10 minutes is our time that we will get back to them by. But normally it's within about 5.5 minutes is the average for a response. So our tutors will be working busy on the other end of the line so that they can answer any questions that there are. Now, we obviously wanted to make sure that the way we did Seneca was effective and making a difference to pupils, because obviously all this theory is great, but actually in reality, is it making a difference? So what we did was we did a randomized controlled trial looking at just over 1,100 pupils. And through that research, what we found was that when we compared it to other independent learning tools, like revision guides in the example, we found that Seneca was over twice as effective. And as I say, that's a sort of validation in our eyes that the way we've developed the platform and the strategies we use from science are shown to be effective in the way that we've implemented them. And that research was peer reviewed and published. So if you want to read about it or know more, obviously feel free to ask in the chat, but otherwise if you just do a quick Google search, impact Seneca, for example, it will come up and you'll be able to read all about it. And in terms of what's on Seneca, we have courses from Key Stage 2 right up to Key Stage 5, and everything is exam board specific. So when a child studies a course on Seneca, it's exactly what they need to know for that exam board. And currently we've got over 4 million pupils using Seneca, about 200,000 teachers and 42,000 parents. So there's lots of people using it, which is really great. But in terms of the tutoring service that you're here to learn about, we offer that to all of those different students. So again, Key Stage 2 to Key Stage 5, everything is exam board specific as well. So let me show you, go ahead and show you how this all works so it can paint a bit more of a picture in your head. So as I said, if there are questions that come through, I will periodically stop and answer them. So I can see some questions coming in already, which is great, and I'll stop in a moment just to answer them, okay? So let's start with the tutoring package. So we have here our tutoring service. Now what you'll see is you have a whole host of different subjects down the side here. So every single one of these subjects your child can get support for through our tutoring service. And it's basically a way to interact with a tutor in real time and get answers for anything that your child is struggling with. So I'm sure you've had it before where your child says, well, I don't know how to study, I don't know what to study, I'm not sure on this particular question. And then, you know, you might be busy, you might not be able to help for some reason, you might not understand the content. So our tutors are there and ready to go, basically. So what you can do is, as a student, I can go into one of these subjects, everything from your English, maths, science, to your media studies and your DTs. So we cover a whole host of different subjects. And I can go in here and I can ask a question. So the best thing to do is basically just let's ask one of our tutors a question and see what happens. So if I type in something like, if I can type correctly. Right, what's the difference between a gamete and a zygote? 2 words that I can remember from my GCSE biology, but I have no idea what they actually mean. So let's see what happens if I ask that question. What will happen to get some tutoring advice on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, as I say, we get back to students on average within 5.5 minutes. But obviously, sometimes it can take a bit longer if there's a more complicated question. So what I'll do is I'll carry on and we'll come back to it and see if our tutors have got back to us with an answer shortly. Okay, so you can see one of the tutors has seen it. So Yasmin has seen it here. She's just put a little Seneca sign there. So let's come back to her and see what she comes back with in a minute. So as part of the tutoring service, we also offer custom timetables for your children. Now, again, I'm sure you've had this before, like, well, I don't know what to study, I don't know how to study or whatever. We are trying to help you with that by providing these custom timetables. So what students can do is they can select the different areas they want to study on, the different courses they'll do, the different subjects they're learning in school. They can say where particularly they want to focus their efforts on. And we create one of these custom timetables for them for however long. So you can see here, I've got week 1. I've got some animal farm to study. I've got some stuff on the First World War. I've got some maths to look at. And then into week 2, we got back to animal farm, First World War, maths again. And each of these is just a different activity for me to go to. And it will take me through to there. And if I just go to the side, I can just tick it off when I'm done. And the way those are created, basically, if I just show you that quickly. So when you sign up, we ask your child to just fill in some information for us. And part of that information is the different subjects that they want to study. And different subjects they want to have in their timetable. So for example, here we've got subject name. So I can choose that I want to study my business AQA GCSE course. I can focus on small and medium enterprises and something else, whatever it is. I can put the answers in here. Okay. And how many hours do you want to spend on this each week? So I can select 3 hours and then I can click next, and then I can go on to select another subject. So it's completely personalized to what your child wants to do and what they need to do. And we'll create that timetable for them to follow through as they go. Let's see if Yasmin has got back to us yet. Okay, Yasmin's still typing, so we obviously haven't given her time. She's only had 2 minutes, to be fair. So that's in terms of Seneca tutoring, how that looks, and the timetable that students can get, and the different subjects we offer. It's important to say as well, this is for all students from Key Stage 2 upwards. So Key Stage 2 begins in year 3, so when they're age 7. We can provide tutoring and timetables and Seneca courses for students from age 7 right up to age 18. And as another part of our Seneca offering through tutoring is not just these questions that can be asked, but it's also if your children are doing are in their A-level years and they are looking to do university applications, we can give support on personal statements. We can give insight into what it's like to study in those particular courses at university. So then they can basically just use the tutors in whatever way they want. And also if they want to add essay marking as well and things like that, that's something that you wouldn't be able to get from a teacher necessarily without having to wait quite a long time, then that is all available there and ready to use and to work with our tutors on that. So we got an answer from Yasmin. Okay, so she got back to us within 3 minutes, which is excellent. So so I've got the answer to my question here. So gamete is a technical word for a sex cell. Sperm and eggs are male and female gametes of humans. Gametes are haploid cells. Okay. So there you go. I've got a difference. I've got a gamete, and then I've got during the process of sexual reproduction, 2 gametes fuse to form a zygote. Okay. So I've got an explanation of what it is. And Yasmin's also given me a follow-up task here, which can give me some more support and advice. So you can see that's the sort of thing, how it works, and the sort of stuff you can get. So let's just thank Yasmin, and we'll go on to explain the next bit. So I was just saying, so we can ask questions, we can get university support through our personal statement writing and stuff like that, but we can also get these daily video lessons. So we upload about 4 to 10 videos a day, which are just short sort of 3 to 5 minute videos which help to explain different concepts to the students. And what they are, the way we decide that what topics they're going to cover is we make sure that actually we basically poll students to understand what they want and what they need. And we give these explainer, or the tutors give these explainer videos so that they can take those in, and obviously there'll be follow-up tasks and they can ask questions off the back of those as well. So now's probably a good time for me just to pause and just come and answer any questions there are before I go on to the next section, which will look at the student platform and then also the parent platform. But if I just pause for 1 moment, I'll stop sharing my screen with you. And we'll just see if there are any questions from anyone. So a question from Anne is the fee £30 no matter how many subjects you take? So yes is the answer, Anne. So it's 30 words. So there's different options you can take. If you sign up for a year, it's £30 per month, and or £29.99 per month to be precise for tutoring. And what that will do is it will give you access to any subjects you want. It's not a per subject thing, and it's an unlimited number of questions you can answer. There's no limit to how you use it or anything like that. Okay, question from Anish. My daughter has started at AS levels. She was aiming for Oxbridge. Is there something you can offer in this area? She was thinking of either maths or economics. So yes, Anisha. So all of the tutors that we have are Oxbridge graduates or Oxbridge undergraduates. So there'll definitely be some advice they can give. So if they want to join, they can then just ask questions about what it's like to study at Oxbridge, how to get in, some personal statement support, also interview support and things like that. So yes, for sure, they'd be able to get some, your daughter would be able to get some support on that. Okay, question from Lorraine says, I educate 3 children, would it still be £30? They all want to use this. So Lorraine, if you want to have it for multiple children, because the way Seneca works, I'll show you the student platform in a second, because of the way Seneca works and the access you need to have, it's very individualized to the individual. So if you have more than one person using it, it doesn't really work, and that breaks down. So you need to have each child having their own subscription. Okay. Question from Ram. It says, I've been a premium Seneca member for the last 2 years. Is tutoring also now included? So we got 3 different levels of premium RAM. So we have our Supreme package, which gives you access to our premium courses and our premium learning modes, which I'll show you again. I'll show you those in a second for those who aren't familiar. And then we have a tutoring package, which gives you access to those courses and learning modes, but also gives you access to our tutoring platform that I've just shown you. And also it gives you access to the parent activity summary that parents can then get those emails, which again, I'll show you what they look like in a second. And then on the 3rd level, we have the guarantee package, which again provides all of that. So the tutoring, the access to the courses, the learning modes, the parent activity summary, but it also includes our grade guarantee. Now, what our grade guarantee does is it says that if you use Seneca in the way it should be, we guarantee that you'll get, if you're a GCSE student, a 7 to 9, or if you're an A-level student, an A to A star. And the things that we expect you to do as part of that is you'd have to study all of the courses we have on Seneca to make all of the courses you're going to claim for. So obviously we're not going to make you sit courses for subjects you don't sit exams for, but all of the courses you're sitting exams for, you have to do that. You have to claim within a couple of weeks of your exam results. And there are a few other stipulations as well, which I can post an article to that so you can understand that a bit better. Okay, another question about payment and how that works. So there's annual or seasonal. Okay, so we have an annual pass, which is obviously a year's access, which you pay for, and you pay for that up front. So for example, it'd be $29.99 per month, but that would be paid in advance. So you pay for 12 months access. And then we've also got the seasonal, which is the 4-month pass, which is, again, the prices vary depending on which level you go for, but that gives you access for 4 months. And against that, that's billed in advance. Okay, so does Seneca cater for year 9, the year before GCSE? So yes, it covers it for all years from year 3 up to year 13. So that covers your year 3 to year 6 at primary school, your key stage 3, so your years 7, 8, and 9, and then your GCSE years and your A-level years. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop and I'm going to come back to some of those other questions in a moment. So I'm going to share my screen again with you. Just give me 1 second. So I've shown you the tutoring and how that works. Do keep those questions coming in, by the way, if you want. I'll still come back to them in a second, but I'm just going to show you some more of the platform, what we offer. So as I say, we offer all this tutoring, we offer the timetabling and the support for your child on their university applications, all of that, all year groups from years 3 to 13. But on top of that, as I've mentioned, these premium courses that you get access to. Now, this is through our student platform, and this is where students can log in and study any subject they want, again, just like they can on the tutoring, but they can study this independently and then ask questions in the tutoring. So they could select a subject. So let's say I wanted to study some geography. Again, I can select the exam board I want. Let's go for the AQA course in this case. And then you've got a whole host of different types of courses. So you've got the standard courses, which just cover the curriculum content that students need to know in school. We've got misconception courses, so trying to identify where students are most likely to trip up in the content. And then we've got things like predicted paper questions. So these are exam style questions, hardest questions. So we go into more detail and more questions on the different types of courses we have. The hardest parts of different courses. And then hyperlearning, which students tend to really like. It's sort of a very fun, short, sharp version of what they need to learn. So everything's broken down into much smaller chunks. And there's many more images, more GIFs. Again, we try and make sure that students are enjoying themselves while they learn. And a whole host of different other courses. You can see the driving theory courses there as well. Some more support on application to uni, and also some support for people looking for the highest grades as well through these premium knowledge courses. So a student could come in here, let's say I want to study geography. I could come in and I could click on whatever subject it is I want to do. So let's look at UK cities as an example. And I can come in here and I can start learning. And the first thing I'll see is I've got some content to have a look through. And this is all included in your premium subscription, I should say. And then basically I'll be repeatedly quizzed on this content to basically understand, so I can understand, there we go, the content I need to know. So as I'm going through this, I can get questions wrong. I can get immediate feedback, so I know if I've gone wrong. Then also the system will be learning what I do and don't know. So I go through here, and there we go. Now you'll see at the top here, I've got the option, it might be behind a screen, but at the top right corner here, you've got an option to ask a tutor if you want. And that's where your tutoring package comes in. And you can also do it at the top left. So you can go straight in and ask a tutor, and then they'll get access to asking your tutor through our platform, through our tutoring platform. So that's obviously all very nice. Great. Students can, your children can ask questions on our tutoring package. They get the timetable, they get the video lessons sent through. They get the access to the premium courses. But as a parent, you want to know what's going on. You want to see how, you might want to see exactly what's been going on. And what we can do is provide you the parent platform for that. So this is where, again, this is all included as part of it. You get access to see exactly what your child has been up to. So you can see the different courses they've been studying, how long they've been studying on them, and their average scores. And this might help with things like, first of all, encouraging good conversations about school at home, but also helping you to understand what your child is struggling with, when it can be quite difficult to understand that sometimes. So this can help conversations if you can put early support in place and understand exactly what your child needs. And then you can work with the school on that as well. So there's all these options that are there and available and ready to use. And this can also be provided if you sign up for our tutoring or our guarantee subscriptions. This can also be provided for you in the parent activity summary, which is an email version where we basically provide you with the data for some courses that your child has been studying. And as I say, that comes into your inbox once a week. So you can sort of keep on top of what your child's up to without having to log into Seneca and have a look for yourself. So that is basically that. I've shown you the tutoring side of things. I've shown you what the students can do. And again, I've shown you what you as parents can do. I'm just going to come back and see if there are any more questions from people. If you haven't asked your question yet, please do get those questions coming in. So Anna says, do you cover or account for any special educational needs in tutoring, for example, dyslexia? So throughout tutoring, what we'll do is, throughout the sort of setup process, we'll allow you to say whether you are dyslexic, and I'd encourage you to, or any other special need for that. And our tutors will be made aware to make sure that the way we're delivering content is suitable for them. And we will support your child through any special needs that they need. But that will be part, if there's other special educational needs, obviously we need to have conversations about those before. If we need to have conversations about how it would work before and how we can adapt what we do to support your child, then by all means, just get in touch with us. Okay, a question from Pritesh says, for languages like French, it's important to hear the spoken word as well as reading it. Do you offer anything where pupils can hear the language as well as answering the written questions? I looked at the Key Stage 3 French sections and the first few modules seem to be written only. So the answer is, Pritesh, is yes. We offer both listening activities and reading activities. So if you look within any course, you'll find that actually there are listening sections for languages. So your child can then obviously listen to those, answer questions, making sure they're testing their comprehension of the work, as well as just being able to read it, obviously. Okay, a question from Ria here is, if they already have Seneca account through school, can they access tutoring through that? So yes, they can. If your child has an account through school, it could be a paid for account, as in a Supreme account, Supreme Premium account, but it could also just be one of our free accounts. So if you want to access tutoring through that, all you need to do is log into that account, and you'll be able to get tutoring by just upgrading that account to premium. Okay, a question from Sahida says, my daughter needs help on her personal statement. How can she get a tutor for that? So if you sign up to our tutor or guarantee packages, Sahida, what you'll be able to do is your daughter will be able to access our tutors, and then they'll be able to ask for support on personal statements to help with that application to university. Okay, question from Anish says, so Anish, Ashish, apologies, says they are unable to understand the model. Is it online, interactive, class-based, or recordings? So what I'd say is it's a mixture of all of those. So it's not class-based, it's all done online. So students can log into our tutoring service, and they have tutors there available to answer questions. The timings that we're available to use at the moment during school time, weekdays is 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on weekends it's 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. So they can log in and ask a question at that time, and as I say, we'll get back to them within 10 minutes, but normally it's faster than that. So it's a mixture of that, having a tutor on the end of the line that you can call on at any time. But it's also the video lessons and the university application support, and just generally any help that they need with anything through school. We're happy to provide that support through the tutoring service. Question from Katie says, what additional resources is there between the free and the first level of service? So the first level of premium is called our Supreme package, and what that does is, well, for free, you have access to about 400 courses through Seneca. And with our Supreme package, the access you get is extra courses. There's an extra like 700, 800 courses that you gain access to that are for premium only. And they are things like the predicted paper courses, the flashcards, the hyper learning, those courses I talked about earlier. And then your child also gets the premium learning mode as well. Okay, question from Sahida is, how many days a week is that? So it's 7 days a week, Sahida. So the days, if you didn't hear my answer just now, the day timings are 4 till 9:30 p.m. on a weekday, and on a weekend it's 1 till 7 p.m. Okay, Adrian says, can a parent assign revision topics for the student, or is this something a teacher account can do? So parents cannot assign topics for your child. At the moment, it's done through our tutoring service, so the tutors will be able to set the topics you want your child will be accessing, or they'll obviously have access to any sort of course they want. But in terms of like suggesting courses, our tutors will do that for you. But the way you can have some control over that is when you set up the timetable. You can go through that with your child if you want, and you can suggest some areas that they should focus on, and then we'll create the assignments accordingly. Okay, a question from Sahida is, how can I register? So if you want to register, I'm putting something in the chat just now. So if you have any, if you want to register, you can just click on that link, and then you can go straight to sign up if you want to. So I've just lost my place on the questions. I want to make sure I answer everyone. So I've just signed up for the service. Is there a demo that will help my son navigate through the different areas? So as part of the sort of setup process, you will receive obviously some emails to get you on board with all the different areas that you will access the tutoring and the courses. And if you need any help through any of that, obviously just get in touch by replying to one of the emails that you get, and my colleague Jack will be happy to help you with that. Okay, question from Ram says, is it monthly rolling? So the way our subscriptions work is there's two options. There's an annual subscription, which is for 12 months, and that is billed upfront. And the seasonal subscription is for every 4 months. So obviously, if you don't want to continue beyond the initial period, you just need to let us know, and we will obviously cancel your subscription moving forward for you, or you can do it through your account as well. Okay, question from Greta says, how do we open a parent account linked to the child's account? So if you go to our website, Greta, you just go to senecalearning.com, and if you press sign up, you'll be able to create an account, and then when you first go through, you'll basically it will be explained to you how to interact with your child through there. So I've just lost my place for the questions, so I want to make sure I don't miss any. So a question from Shep955 says, can you cancel at any time? The answer is yes, you can cancel at any time. That will stop your subscription renewing again in the future. You just need to go onto your account and just click cancel in the settings to stop it renewing. Question from Omawanula, I hope I've said your name right, apologies if I haven't, is can we pay monthly? So you have the two options. You have the seasonal option, which is 4 monthly, or you have the annual option, which is yearly. A question from Helena why are there little videos in the hyper flashcards? So those hyper flashcard videos are GIFs we're talking about. The reason that they're in there is what the research shows is that if children are enjoying their learning and finding things humorous, they're more likely to remember it long term. So you find the little GIFs or the little videos that we show, they'll be linked to the learning content, and they'll help students to remember information long term. That's just taken from the research of what works. Question from Anne says, can you please advise how English language B edXL is corrected? I'm not sure I understand your question, Anne. If you could just explain that in a bit further down, then I'm happy to answer that. Nina says, how many hours of content do we have per GCSE subject? So it kind of depends on the amount of content within the GCSE subject. Obviously, something like music, where it's mostly that there's a lot of practical element, the amount of content and theory to learn is less. But in something like science, obviously there's a lot of content. So I wouldn't be able to put an actual time on it. But what we do is we cover the whole curriculum. So everything that a child needs to know is in those courses. But I wouldn't be able to put a time limit on it. Obviously, it depends a lot on how fast your child moves and how fast they learn through the content. Question from Greta is there any live videos if this was needed? So we offer the videos basically based on what students want and need. And then there are obviously an opportunity to ask the follow-up questions anytime between those hours. So what we do is we post the videos and we allow students to ask questions when they watch those videos at the time to suit them. What we found when we did live videos is actually a lot of people couldn't make the particular time that we set. And actually it worked much better if we recorded the videos and put them on there, but it was then available to have questions asked to us if we needed them. Question from Sahida is, do I have to pay £30 for each subject? No, so this is £30 per month for every single subject I've just shown you. Okay, Adrian says, if my son has a school account, can I still buy a premium or do I need to buy a separate home account? So no, you can just upgrade your son's school account. You just go log into his account and just click upgrade account or sign up for premium through then that will allow you to access the the premium stuff. Okay, right. So can you ask a specific tutor to maintain continuity, familiarity with the query picked, or whoever is free? So we deliberately work with quite a small group of tutors. The reason for that is we want to allow the continuity, but obviously these tutors, they have their allocated hours that they're working, and they're not available 24/7. So we try where possible to work with a small number of tutors per subject. So if you're asking a question that's particularly linked to geography, you'll normally get the same person answering the geography questions because they are the geography specialist. But we wouldn't want that same geography specialist answering questions on A-level physics, for example, because they might not know the answer as well. So it's specific to different subjects, but there will be some continuity in terms of having access to those different to the tutors. Question from Dan says, say if my child does not understand once a video has been made, what do you do next? So Dan, if they don't understand the video that's been posted, the next step would be just to ask one of the tutors to give some further explanation, and we'd be happy to provide that for your child within 10 minutes. And that could be written, or it could be another video potentially. Question from Angela says, if you go through a school account, will it be cheaper? So no, there's no difference to the price if you're a school, if you go through a school account or not. Sean says, is there any live tutoring face-to-face online, or is it what you showed us, questions and someone responds? So the service we provide and the way we're able to provide it at a cost that's for a whole month rather than just £30 a month, that would normally just get you 1 hour of tutoring with a tutor. The way we're able to do that is that we have tutors working with multiple people at the same time. So the way our system works and is able to provide you that support at that price is that we offer the access through, so it'll just be exactly the question. You can ask questions, you can see the videos, and you get the personalized timetabling. Question from Sahida says, what is the link of the course? I'm not sure I asked. Oh, I assume you're talking about the timetable there, Sahida. So in the timetable, the link to the course, that's a link to a different area of our Seneca, a different course within Seneca. So as well as obviously that being useful in terms of directing your children to a certain things that they should learn and study, it will also basically allow you to get the most out of all the premium courses that we have. So sometimes you'll find that students tend to stick to one course, but these timetables will show a variety of different courses for your child. So a question from Pratesh says, my son would like to learn Latin. He's currently in year 8, but his school doesn't offer the subject. Do you have a Latin subject? And if he followed your course, would it be enough to teach him to GCSE level without formal teaching? So to answer the second part of that question first, is if you take one of our GCSE subjects, but it's not something that's being taught in school, yes, it is enough to teach you to a GCSE level. All of the content is in our courses, and there's no need to, so it covers all the content that people need to know. But in terms of Latin, unfortunately, it's not something we offer at the moment. So he wouldn't be able to do that with Latin, I'm afraid, Pratesh. Okay, question from Greta is there a trial period? So you can try out our free courses on Seneca and try those out, but there's no trial period for the tutoring, I'm afraid. Question from Anne, but obviously, if you're not happy with the service we're providing you, obviously, then we can talk about that. But it would be, as I say, everything I've just explained will be met in terms of answering within 10 minutes. But as I say, 5.5 minutes as an average. Question from Anne is there any discount for homeschoolers given tutor times are evenings? We work at home during the day. So unfortunately not, and I'm afraid that's not something we're able to provide. But obviously, if what you could do is during the day, you could teach using Seneca courses, And then if there's any questions or homeworking or independent learning that they do in the evenings, then the tutors will be on hand. Ram says, is the guarantee package available for year 11? So yes, it is. It provides students with the grade guarantee, which will basically mean that we guarantee a 7 to 9 at GCSE or an A to A star at A level for your child, as long as they study enough of our course, enough of the courses that they're going to be sitting, and they claim and they meet the other terms and conditions, which can be explained in the what is premium help article that I've just posted on the chat. Okay. So question from Bukola. Do you have to pay for tutoring if you already have premium guarantee account? So the tutoring package that we offer is a fairly new package. It's been going since April, when lockdown happened. We were looking for a way to help parents deliver affordable tutoring by giving support to parents and obviously children during that tricky time. So if you bought your guarantee package before then, we didn't have tutoring. But if you'd like to upgrade your guarantee package to add tutoring, then just get in touch with us. A question from Nina says, how many hours of content do you have per GCSE subject? So I think I answered that one already, Nina, but if I didn't, please do just ask the question again. Vicky says, we have purchased the premium account but not tutoring access. If we upgrade, would it be the full amount for the tutoring package? So the way that would work, Vicky, is we'd give you a refund for your existing premium package, which will be pro rata refund. So however many days you used of that package, we'll refund the rest, basically. But then we'll create a brand new subscription for you for your new account. Okay. Question from Dan, why is no one answering my question? Apologies if I've missed your question, Dan. Please do post it again, and I will get to it in a second. Anne says, I think this probably refers to Anne's question further up. So the IGC questions in section A, for instance, is there an optimal answer shown? So within the courses on our Seneca learning platform, so yes, we give optimal answers for the subjects in our predicted paper questions, but also if your child wants to have work marked, then they can ask our tutors to mark them. Obviously, we don't mark them within 10 minutes like we do the other questions, but we will be able to turn them around and mark those questions for them and give them feedback on what they would get. Nina says, if my daughter has a specific question on her homework, can she post it? Yes, of course. So if she has any question linked to not necessarily a Seneca subject or anything like that, or a Seneca course, sorry, any homework or schoolwork that they're doing, they can ask questions about through the tutoring. So Sri says, how frequently will there be assessment? How do you assess English essays? Be great for feedback for any assessments. Okay, so in terms of assessments, we set the weekly timetable for students. We don't monitor the progress of that, but you as a parent can see the progress of that through your parent account. And in terms of English essays and feedback for essays, for any subject that's an essay subject, you can post that to our tutors, and our tutors will go away, have a look at them, give some feedback on them as they go. Okay. Question from Winnie is that, can my daughter see other children's questions? We probably can learn more from others' questions. So great question, Winnie. And the answer is yes. So as part of this, when a child asks a question, it's available for everyone to see. So this is, so the tutor can respond. So if another child asks a question that's linked to something your child would like to know about, they can learn even then. Question from Anne is the subscription charged in advance, monthly or annually? So it's charged either annually if you go for an annual subscription, or every 4 months if you go for a seasonal subscription. A question from Paula says, if I pay for a yearly premium tutoring, which is £30 a month, but want to cancel in 6 months' time, would I still get the remaining balance, the money? So when you sign up for a premium subscription, you are signing up for that period. So if you only want access for 6 months, you can either pay for 2 periods of 4 months or a whole year, but you wouldn't get the remaining balance back in that case. If you want to obviously transfer your access to someone else after that 6-month period, you could do that if you have another child. Question from Eleanor, you may have answered this, but is there a trial time for tutoring on the guaranteed level of service? So no, we don't offer any trial for the tutoring service, but I hope you've got a clear picture of what that would look like. And obviously, if you're dissatisfied for any reason, you just need to let us know. Okay, so Paula is saying it seems pointless to sign up for a whole year, as year 11's only have 8 months left to go. So if you want to do that, then Paula, then you could obviously sign up for 2 Supreme two Supreme passes back to back, and that will give you 8 months worth. Question from Helena. How does the guarantee work? Would you expect as a study time to offer such a guarantee? So what we say is that you need to, or your child needs to study every section of every course for a subject that they're going to claim the guarantee for. So for example, if they want to claim it for the geography GCSE course, they have to, for AQA, they'd have to study all of the geography GCSE AQA courses we provide, and every single one of the sections that we offer. So that's one of the sort of main stipulations. But if you'd like to know more about it, the what is premium post that I'm just sharing now will give you will let you know all of the terms and conditions broken down for you. Okay, question from Ram is does one have quick access to all questions and answers asked over time? So yes, so the questions and answers can just be revisited, and you can do Control F to find different questions that people have asked in the past. So if you want to see your answers, it's just very easy to find them for sure. Question from Anne is, can you provide predicted grades for homeschoolers IGCSEs if exams are cancelled? I'm afraid we can't do that, Anne. We wouldn't be, the evidence we'd be able to provide you for homeschoolers wouldn't be able to meet the criteria that you would need as evidence for what you need to submit to the Department for Education. Okay, a question from Umi says, I just joined, will we get video lessons? So as part of it, yes, we will upload videos, which will be 4 to 10 per day. And these will be lessons that will be like maybe 3 to 5 minutes long, just covering specific topics within Seneca, or within your course, sorry. And the different videos we cover will be based on what the tutees want to have covered. Okay, so Ram asks, is the timetable that is set customized based on current strengths and weaknesses? So when you request a timetable, Ram, what happens is you select the courses you want to have in that timetable, how many hours you want to study on each of those courses, and also any particular areas of that course that you want to focus on. So there's an option to suggest or to say what you'd like to focus on and the different areas you find most challenging, yes. And then once those courses are set up, once those timetables are set up, each little link that we provide you will give you automatically tailored courses that will just adjust depending on how well your child answers the questions. Okay, a question from Caldeep says, how comprehensive is the feedback? So our tutors are very well trained, Caldeep. If they need essay feedback, we will mark the essay and give feedback based on the mark scheme. And obviously, if you need a question answered, again, the feedback from the question, I hope you saw with the gamete and the zygote example, there's lots of questions that are, yeah, lots of questions there. Okay, so Anne says, is it £360 up front? So for our tutoring annual pass, yes, it is £360 up front, and that gives you access for a whole year's worth of tutoring through our tutoring service. Okay, Griff says, who are the tutors? Are they current teachers? So all of the tutors are either Oxbridge undergraduates, so they're currently at Oxbridge studying their subjects, or they are recent Oxbridge graduates. So they are available and ready to use. And obviously, being Oxbridge, they're very smart. They know a lot about the subject they're covering, and they're trained in how to give excellent tutoring advice. Okay, so Dan says, say if a child does not understand once a video has been made, what do you do next? I hope is this the question that I missed earlier, Dan? I apologize. So if a child doesn't understand a video, they can simply just ask a question in the tutoring. So they can literally say, okay, I don't understand this bit. Can you give a further explanation or send another video to explain it? And the tutor will get back to them within 10 minutes with a response. Question from Geeta is, how do you ensure the curriculum is up to date for all subjects and exam boards? So we work directly from the exam board specifications. So we have contacts at the different exam boards. So we know when the curriculum is changing, and we adjust the content accordingly. Sri says, do you provide tutoring for 11+ entrance exams? So yes, we are able to provide support for 11+ pupils, but just to make you aware, that happens on a slightly different platform. So again, it's just an instant messaging platform that goes back and forth, but it's a different platform purely because children under 13 aren't able to use the tutoring platform that we have due to EU law, but we have another service ready for anyone under the age of 13. Okay, Dan just asked me to answer his question again. So Dan asked, say if a child does not understand the video, what happens next? So all they need to do, Dan, is they just need to ask a question on tutoring, and they'll get back to them with a response or a video within 10 minutes. Okay, so Ram, no problem. Okay, so if you have any other questions, obviously, then do get them coming in, but that looks like it's the end of the questions. I've just posted something to everyone there. If you want to find out more and how to sign up, you can just click that top link that I've just posted, and you'll be able to sign up through there. But obviously as well, if you want to access our Facebook groups, you can message us or email my colleague Jack, and he'll be able to help you with any questions you have. But yeah, thanks very much for joining, and thank you for all the questions. It's great to have so many people asking so many questions and seeing so much interest. So yeah, all the best. Have a great evening, and thanks for joining.